Okay. As you remember, now we're talking about the chain of the Torah, how it was given over, and there were always, great rabbis that have God-fearing rabbis, miracle workers, holy people, and their whole interest was, what does exactly God want? What does it mean? Every word of the Torah, every idea of the Torah, because the Torah is God's will. And there were always tremendous enemies of the Jewish people, saying, you can interpret the Torah however you want to, and you be the boss, and you be the rabbi, and the rabbis are trying to fool us, and etc. and etc. There's always been, right, people that have opposed Moses, the first rabbi that everybody opposed, and since then everybody opposes the rabbis. And there's whole religions based on just opposing the Jewish rabbis. That's the whole basis of the thing. Because as soon as you accept the Jewish rabbis, then all the other religions are pretty much out the window, because they explain what God wants. The only time God ever appeared and told people exactly what he wants for all mankind was when he took the Jews out of Egypt and gave them the Torah. And the Torah has to be interpreted properly. You can look at the Torah, you can see it. It begs interpretation. So it has to be interpreted by people who fear God. And these people who fear God have to have people, superintendents, great rabbis over them, that also they fear God and they make sure that everything stays in line. So we've had all these partners. One of them says that they was the Nasi, and the other one was the Av Beis Din. And we had a few of them before. We talked this in the last few days. We've been talking about these rabbis. What's this? Yeah, what's rabbis? So we have, like, for instance, we have the last single leader was Antigonos ben Ishchosocho. He was the last single person. And after that came doubles. Yossi ben Yoezer and Yossi ben Yochanan. And after that came Yoshua ben Prachia and Natai Aharbeli. And after that came Shimon ben Shetach and Yehuda ben Tabai. That's the next couple. And now we have the next pair, and that is, when we get to Hillel and Shammai soon, by the way, Shmaya and Avatalion. Now, Shmaya and Avatalion, some people say that they were converts, and some people say that's impossible. They were the children of converts. But in any case, they were very great, and they kept the Jewish people in line. This is right before the destruction of the temple. This is the time of Hordus, King Hordus. He was like a slave that he took over the Israel, and he was sort of like considered himself to be a Jew, but he really wasn't. Oh, what's this? Okay, Shema Babatalian. They received from Shimon ben Shetach and Natai Arbeli. And Shmaya was one person, and Avatalion was, let's listen to this advice that they give. Ohev es hamalacha. Shmaya said, love work. Love work. What does it mean? Even if you're rich, and even if you have servants, and you don't have to do anything, the worst thing is to do nothing. Right? The Lubavitcher Rebbe spoke about this a lot. Sometimes the biggest curse for a person is to retire. You retire, you got no reason to wake up in the morning. Well, a person retired says, wow, this is great. No one's going to tell me what to do. I have all this free time on my hands. I can do whatever I want to. And it ends up he sits in the park and feeds the pigeons or something. The pigeons have more reason to live than he does. A lot of times. So it says, therefore, you should love work. Find something to do. Find something. We're talking about for your benefit. But this may be something a bit deeper. Namely, the world, I think I told you the story before, but I've told it tens of times. It's very, very, very deep and very, motivating. There was a very great professor, psychiatry, the Lubavitcher Rebbe really held by him, which is very rare because usually the psychiatrists are very, how do you want to call it, atheistic. They don't want to bring God into their whole system or anything, that even hints at God. But he did. He did this. Anyway, so I'll tell you the story and you can judge for yourself. So he was in the Holocaust. Professor Viktor Frankl, he was in the Holocaust. He was taken, he lived in Vienna. And as soon as there was the Anschluss, so there was already trouble, right? And all the Jews had to leave. Anyway, he didn't leave, and he was taken to with his parents, with his wife. They all got killed. His brother, he had a brother. So when he was there, so he took it on himself. He was an expert at preventing suicide. He had a lot of enemies, especially because he was very against the empty theories of Freud and Adler and all these people that managed sort of this closed the sort of system. And, he just relates to his mother, his father, people around him, whatever. And he said that there's meaning and everything. And not to go into what his philosophy was. Anyway, he took it on himself to prevent people from committing suicide. And the way he would do it very simply was to find something that these people could connect to in the future, some meaning, some reason. So he found two people that wanted to commit suicide, and he asked them both the same apparently foolish question. What do you want to commit suicide? They're in Auschwitz and there's death all around them. There's dead bodies laying around. Why should a person remain in life? Every moment was just pain, physical pain, psychological pain. So both of them said, I have no reason, I have nothing to expect from life. They both wanted to commit suicide. He had an eye for it. He could see. So what are you doing? Why do you want to commit suicide? Because they have nothing to expect from life. And he said, oh, maybe you're right. Maybe you have nothing to expect from life, but maybe life has something to expect from you. In other words, life is bigger and in some ways more real than we are, and it pulls meaning out because life is always positive. It pulls the meaning out. So that's what it means. Ohev es hamalacha. You should love work. Find something meaningful to do and do it. You should love working. And also it says that if a person doesn't work, that it brings them to craziness and laziness. Next, saneh sano et rabbanut. Hate being a rabbi. This is pretty near to this. Sometimes a person can become a rabbi because he doesn't want to work. You become a rabbi, you get all this honor and all this, and they just call you once in a while to make a wedding or something. They ask a couple questions, but these people, what do you care? You just give them an answer, something like that once in a while. And there's no, so it says, keep away from it. The higher that a person gets in position, as the more enemies he's going to have. And you should try to avoid being a rabbi. Help others, do others, but as much as possible, don't run after being a big shot, a rabbi. And finally, the last one, al tizvada l'rashut. Don't try to be known to be, rubbing elbows with the leaders. You want to have a good, a pull in the government. So you make friends with this guy and with this guy. Oh, I know him. Oh, senator this. Of course, I know him. But they're talking doctor this. All these important people. Professor this. I know him. You're shooting off these. What is it called? Name dropping. Everybody knows him. Right? Everybody knows who. Don't try. Don't try to make yourself known to everybody. It says the two reasons are this: if you try to ingratiate yourself to the leaders, so what happens is they use you. They're your best friends as long as they can use you. And as soon as they don't, then they don't. The same thing here. You shouldn't try to be a leader yourself. If you're thrust into that position, so okay, then you have to do, there's nobody else to do. But don't lust after the position of being a leader, because being a leader, it just brings a person a shortened life. It says that Joseph and his brothers, that Joseph died early before his brothers, and the reason was because he took on himself leadership, even though that he saved the whole world. But nevertheless, there still is a negative aspect of being a leader that also can make you into a big egotist to being a leader. That's why it's so very important to be, it's more important to be a follower, like it says, to be a tail of lions than to be the head of foxes. Have a good day with Mashiach. Now, God willing, tomorrow is Friday, and we will begin a Sikha of the Lubavitcher Rebbe about Lag BaOmer, the day of the passing away of the holy, beautiful, blessed, happy Rabbi Shimon, happiest man in the world. Rabbi Shimon teaches us how to be happy also. Have a good day and hope to see you all at 8:15 tomorrow morning. Yechi HaMelech.